The cost of being different is walking into a room and feeling like you don't belong. Not too long ago, I got to be a vendor at this wedding expo to promote my business. It was at the Marriott next to O'Hare Airport in Chicago, and there were 400 plus brides to be expected at this expo. Keep in mind, this is a huge deal for me because out of all of the 40 plus vendors that were gonna be there, I was the only fire dancer present. If you're new here, I'm Luke Embers, and about 2.5 years ago, I started my own fire dancing company to build a business on my own. Being honest, I've been struggling to build up my own clientele these past couple of years, and as time goes by and the expenses go up, the pressure is definitely real to make sure I have enough income for everything that I need. You know, for the most part, the way it kind of works right now is I get hired through different booking platforms or different groups, entertainment groups that I work with, and every here and there I'll get my own direct inquiry. And while it's nice to get inquiries and leads and referrals from different groups, they don't really pay well. And that's kind of forced me to try to get my own clients so I can set the price and actually be paid what I'm worth. So far, I've mainly done private events, you know, backyard parties or birthday parties, anniversaries, and I've also done some corporate too. Recently, I've been really thinking about the wedding industry. If you think about it, weddings are like the perfect opportunity because couples and wedding planners are planning for this big day where they actually have the budget and the means to create a high caliber experience for their guests. And as someone who's trying to position myself as a premium service, my clients need to reflect the type of business that I want to be doing. The issue is, I don't have that much experience in weddings. Thinking about how I could get into this industry, I started doing a lot of research and started looking up how can I get in front of brides and grooms. To my surprise, there were actually a bunch of wedding expos happening in the Chicagoland area, and this was perfect because it's a highly concentrated area dedicated for the exact people that I was looking for. Out of those dates, there was one that I was able to make it to, and so without any hesitation, I register. The day started out around 10 a.m. for me as I arrived to set up my booth. You know, I already knew that I wouldn't be allowed to do fire within the venue, and the main goal was to show people what I do. So the first thing that I had to get set up was my computer monitor to showcase some of the past work that I've done. I brought my lights, which gave me a bit of an ambiance. I was an individual compared to a lot of the other vendors who were big organizations or companies who had multiple staff. They had a lot of resources, posters, and banners and TVs to showcase all of their amazing stuff. And I'm just strolling in, just me, myself, and I, so I wanted to stand out among the other vendors. I had a stand for one of my fire knives, and it's cool because I wanted to showcase and demonstrate that this is the actual prop that I use. And then I had my business cards, which I do this really cool effect where I actually burn the edges. I don't know if you can see that. And I discovered this cool little trick because I was thinking about ways of leaving that lingering, lasting impact after someone leaves my booth. Burning each and every business card actually leaves its own unique burn pattern and design. I had like 100, 200 of these. So I just laid them out on my table in a nice, presentable way. And finally, I actually had a bunch of gift bags that I created. This was an idea that I built with my girlfriend Eva. We were kind of exploring how I could market myself a little bit more in a different way. A wedding isn't gonna happen tomorrow night. You know, a wedding takes a long time to think about. It takes a long time to plan and to coordinate and to even decide between different vendors. So I had to make sure that I was playing the long game. So I wanted to create something that they could bring home with them and actually see to remember me and what I do. So we ended up creating these little gift bags, which included a custom candle, custom matchbook, and also some information on my service specifically for weddings and how to contact me. And then finally, I had my LED fire knives because I asked about being able to do a little demo. So after about 30 to 45 minutes of setting up, I was ready for the expo. The expo started off kind of slow. There were some people trickling in, but there was by no means any crowdedness across the entire area that I was in. But after some time, it did slowly start to pick up. I was also realizing that not every person there was getting married. They had little stickers on each guest where it kind of represented who they were in relation to the wedding. So they had a bride or groom, they had mother of the bride, or father, and then they had entourage, so just friends or people in the bridal party. So I had to be very careful with who I was speaking to, especially when it came to giving out the goodie bags, because mind you, I don't want to just be giving them to random people. I want to get the highest return of investment on these. So I wanted to make sure I was talking to the bride and to give it to the bride. My main spiel of selling myself, I really just told them what I did. I don't like being like a hard salesman where I'm like trying to convince you to hire me, like, oh, but if you do this, then I'll, give you 50% discount or something like that. I don't want to be that type of person. I hate being on the other end of that when someone's so pushy. So my strategy with just being there was to share what it is that I do. I did quickly realize though that not every bride there was actually getting married in the Chicagoland area. Some brides and some wedding couples were actually doing destination weddings. So I'm like, should I really give you a gift bag? Because it's kind of taking away from the point. It's not just supposed to be a gift for you. Like, I'm trying to get something out of it as well. I had to filter based on two different things. Are they getting married relatively in the area, not a destination wedding? And are they getting married within the next year, or is it gonna be more? It's more relevant for them versus giving someone a bag who is getting married in 2 years, but is also a destination wedding somewhere else. Detail that I learned among that process. And I'll tell you, like, most of the reactions that I get are really positive. Like, that's the last thing that they're expecting, a fire dancer at a wedding expo. At the same time, people are such Debbie Downers too, because I'll show them this thing and I'll be like, hey, this could be this could be an actual thing for you that you could do or hire me for, right? But then they'll be like, my venue won't allow that. I don't think we can do that. And I get it. Fire inside a venue, especially in Chicago, it doesn't sound great, and there are strict laws and rules against this, but anything's possible, right? It's been done before, and I know the proper steps in terms of safety, permitting, and insurance to get this done indoors, but it's just people not thinking that it's possible. It's so frustrating because it's like, this is possible, and I'm trying to put myself out there. I'm trying to make a living. I'm trying to get this to work, and I can make it work, but you telling me no right off the bat really just shuts me down, and I don't think anyone likes to hear a no for anything. It's just tough. Totally just spilled on myself. Pretend you didn't see that. Anyways, I'll be honest, and maybe this is just me, it's hard to do these expos because I'm there myself and I'm surrounded by all these big conglomerate groups, multiple people there being able to sell and share what it is that they do, and they have a lot of resources and a lot of banners and TVs and lights and beautiful elegant booths and designs, and I'm just here with a little monitor with a couple of business cards and some of the props that I use. I just feel like outmatched in a way, honestly, like a black sheep too, being the only fire dancer. I'm, it sounds cool on paper, but like being there and just feeling out of place, feeling like I am the only one that understands what it is that I do. Hearing some of these people just shut me down immediately. Knowing that these companies have been doing weddings for so long and they have so much experience, I'm just out here like, I only have a couple of years in and I'm trying to get more. Like, how can I get these opportunities so I can improve too? Because I can only get so much better if I don't have any types of gigs like this. So I just feel like it's a David versus Goliath type of thing. The day goes by and the wave slowly dies down. There's less and less people and things get kind of quiet. And all of a sudden, this woman walks towards me. She looks at me and she says, I just wanted to say that by far you had the best pitch here at the Expo. She said she was talking to her group and they said it was such a breath of fresh air knowing that I wasn't trying to sell them anything. I was just having a conversation with them. I just remember having the biggest smile on my face. That was just something that I needed. That entire expo, that entire experience was me feeling insignificant compared to these conglomerate vendors. And I honestly didn't think I had as much to offer as them. So I just wanted to be myself and to speak with these people. But it turns out that that was my biggest weapon, or that was my biggest advantage being there. And immediately after that first woman left, a couple came up to my booth. They said they were running late, but they were super happy they were able to make the expo. And they're looking at my video and they're looking at the cards that I have on the table. And the groom goes, "Is that actually you in the video?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me. That's me." And he's like, "So you're the performer, but you're also the salesman. You were actually here showing us what you do and you're talking to us." The couple looks at each other and they go, "We seriously love that and we are seriously considering hiring you." Hearing that helped me completely reframe and just reinforce that idea that I just learned with the other women about the power of being that individual who speaks to people directly and who is not the biggest one there or has the best design. They wouldn't go through another salesperson. They wouldn't go through someone else. They would go through me. Being different is scary. You're putting yourself out there for people to judge you, for people to question what it is that you do, for people to not even understand maybe what you even do, or to put you down or to reject it immediately. But believing what you represent has value, that it's genuine, and that it's yours to the core, you can create a message that speaks to people deeper than you would have ever actually known. The people that stopped at my booth, they didn't have to say anything to me whatsoever, but they actually chose to tell me what I was providing for them was something valuable and something that was far more meaningful than any of the other vendors there that day. As I was packing up and heading out from the expo, I realized, leaving with a smile on my face, that this was definitely not the last expo that I would be doing. And it's taught me to lean even more into being different, even if it doesn't come out to what it is that I wanted in the first place, to get more gigs. At least I can have that impact in people's lives, because you never know where they're gonna go, who they're gonna speak with. They could speak to someone else who's getting married, someone who is more open to that type of thing, and that could be the sale. So be different, be you, because you never know whose life you're gonna make a difference in, and that's how you be what remains. That is how you create a long-lasting impact.